been called to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Here.
Councilmember Hamilton.
Here.
Councilmember Salazar.
Here.
Vice Mayor Marty Medina.
Here.
Mayor Rico Medina.
Here. Item 3 will be going into council. We'll be going into closed session for one item, which is conference with labor negotiators. Agency designated representative is the city manager. This will be in regards to all of the Teamster representatives, which are the IBT miscellaneous, and the local Teamsters 856, local fire Teamsters, police, public safety mid-management, Teamsters local 350 mid-management, and San Bruno Management Employee Association and unrepresented employees. There being no public comments or speakers, City Council will go into closed session, come out to see if there's any reportable action, and we will adjourn the special meeting to the next regular meeting. And City Council is now in recess for a closed session. All right, the city council is out of closed session. There is no reportable action at this time. And with that, the special city council meeting will be adjourned to the next regular city council meeting, which will be held this evening in a couple of minutes. The special meeting is adjourned. Good evening, and we are now going to begin the San Bruno City Council regular meeting of September 23rd, 2025. We're going to call the meeting to order. City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Alvarez,
Here.
Councilmember Hamilton,
Here.
Councilmember Salazar,
Here.
Vice Mayor Marty Medina,
Here.
Mayor Rico Medina.
Here. For those that are able, if you would please rise with me in the City Council and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Now we'll move on to item number 4 for public comments for items that are not on this evening's agenda.
I have 2 speaker cards. Would Boris Goodrin, followed by Maureen Killo, please approach the podium?
Thank you for turning the mic on. There is a timer there, just so you know, and please feel free and whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Boris Kudrin. I live just right on DeSoto Way as it exits the park there. I'm on the second block up. And I'm here as a witness to not the accident itself that happened 2 days ago, but to the problems that we've been confronted with that area for many years. Recently, we had some stop signs added to the area, which probably has helped. Unfortunately, most people decide to run those signs when no one's looking. But my neighbor, Amit Logia, was struck and hit by a car as it was turning the corner from Santa Lucia onto DeSoto Way. And the person driving obviously wasn't paying attention. He broke his ankle. That was the extent of his injuries. But I don't know where they are right now, the family, but they should be here any minute. And again, the people that are here can attest to some of the issues that we still see, even with the new road to the park here and the new stop signs that we have, because people are still speeding down that. And they actually use, a lot of times they use the stop sign itself as a starting point to lay rubber all the way up to the top of the hill. I myself, this is back in the 80s, but I myself came out of my house looking for my truck one day and couldn't find it. It was in my neighbor's yard against a tree, and somebody had hit it going uphill. So that's how fast they go there. And that's primarily what we're looking at is, in this case, it's someone coming around the corner, but there's also the issue of speeding through stop signs there. And it's my view that it's reasonably solved with speed bumps. It's something no one's ever tried there. We've all looked at the signs when they go up going, okay, good luck, because people love to run those. And so all I can really say at this point is, without anything specific to be addressed by the Logia family, is that in my view, much of the issue along that street is solved merely with speed bumps. You got them every place else on all the other streets, but not there. I suppose because it's a thoroughfare, but I don't see that a bump would slow things down that much. There'd be a minor thing. That's all I have to say right now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kudrin. Next speaker, please.
Hello, my name is Maureen Killo, and I am a frequent visitor to this park. I play pickleball, I take my dog for a walk, and what a beautiful facility you guys have built here in the city of San Bruno. And it has really made it popular. And so I think this area has always been a thoroughfare for cars, cyclists, and pedestrians, but now even more so. There's so many more pedestrians. And I, for one, when there's a crosswalk right here at the south end of the park, I really pause before I cross that. It's scary. It's right on a curve. People are driving fast, very dangerous. And unlike Boris, unfortunately, I was a witness to our neighbor being struck by a car last Thursday, and it was horrifying. And thank God he didn't get a concussion or anything worse. He did, however, he could have lost his foot. It was a very, very serious injury and an accident. And we really need some traffic calming. We need some real thoughtful input here. The congestion between cars and pedestrians is very intense. It's just a matter of time. So thank you, City Council, for putting this on a future agenda to consider how can we calm traffic, how can we protect our pedestrians, how can we slow traffic down and still get them through. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Are there any other folks in the audience that are wishing to speak before the city council under public comment for items not on the agenda? Come on forward, please. And this, and then the city clerk will get your green slip.
Late, but I made it.
It's all right.
My concern, George Gerard, I also live on DeSoto. Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, City Council. We're all concerned for the right reasons here. We've all made an investment in this city to live. With this new thing, it's fabulous for visitors and relatives alike. My feelings about where we live touch on the same areas that Boris's concerns are. I look at that intersection at the south end of the park as a blind intersection because of that brick, I guess it's a pump station or something right there next to the tennis courts. And I've had little guys come out on their little scooters from behind that thing. And when you're coming down the hill, you don't have vision peripherally of the right side because of the bushes where the sign that says San Bruno Park and this brick building sitting right there. So that's slower speeds, stop lights, stop bumps or whatever you want to call them, all contribute to slowing people down. Secondly, it's a little late now to look at the city park as a finished product and say, we want to change something. The width of the road is the width of the road. But if you want to see evidence of a gray area, look at all the rub marks you have on the curbs on either the left and right side, especially on the curb sections where a 2-ton bobtail comes through there and is in the opposite lane because he can't get any closer. And then you've got the people coming opposite direction. They're all doing 25, 30 miles an hour. I personally have not seen a speed limit sign in the park. I do remember one when my kids were little, but I don't recall seeing one. And that frustrates me that we spend all this money on improving our facilities and we don't take the time with less space and more people to slow people down. I don't know how many tickets from those little black books you guys carry when you're giving citations. I could go through a book a day here easily, no problem whatsoever. That's the end of my speech. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for your comments. I wanted to make this last opportunity for anyone who had not turned in a slip who wishes to speak on items not on the agenda this evening. Seeing and hearing none, then we will move on to item 5 on the agenda, which is announcements and presentations. First announcement is the Fall Community Cleanup event with Recology is happening on Saturday, October the 11th from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. The same location as it has been, and that is at 975 Sneath Lane. San Bruno residents are invited to bring unwanted bulk items to the self-serve drop-off event. Each household may dispose up to 3 cubic yards of material, and you do need to bring your ID. It is for San Bruno residents only. Second announcement, the fall compost giveaway with Recology is happening on Saturday, also October 11th, and Sunday, October the 12th, from 8 to 11 a.m. at Lions Field. Residents are welcome to take a free bucket of compost to help enrich their gardens. This is a self-serve event. Please bring your own bucket, 1 5-gallon bucket per resident. We want to thank Recology for continuing to do that. Next, we're going to see and I know when you hear State of the City, you think, how long am I going to be listening to you, Rico? And it is about 5 minutes. So we've learned less is more. and simpler is better. So with that, I'll have the city clerk bring it up. Yes. I want to thank the city manager's office. I also want to thank Pam. Pam, on her day as she transitioned to her next opportunity. We solidified this and had that done. So thanks to all. Now we have some proclamations, and I'm going to have two of the directors that will come up and speak. And so I will try to make this as best and brief because I know we have a very exciting presentation in regards to our NARETA. First, we will have the proclamation recognizing October 5th through the 11th, 2025 as Fire Prevention Week. This is our fire marshal, and I just promoted her to director. Whereas the city of San Bruno is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting our city, and whereas the National Fire Protection Association reports an increase in battery-related fires, underscoring the need for public education on safe use and batteries. And I'm going to let Jessica speak more to it. She's the expert. But for me now, therefore, I, Rico E. Medina, Mayor of the City of San Bruno, do hereby proclaim October 5th through the 11th, 2025 as Fire Prevention Week and urge the community to make sure their homes have working smoke alarms and to support the many public safety activities and efforts of the San Bruno Fire and Emergency Services.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mayor, council members, and our excuse me, staff and San Bruno community. Thank you for recognizing Fire Prevention Week and acknowledging the hard work of our Fire Prevention Bureau and operations crews. Every day, our mission in the Fire Prevention Bureau is to keep our San Bruno community safe. And when fire prevention does our job well, you don't hear about it in the news. This year's theme, Charge into Fire Safety, Lithium-ion batteries in your home, highlights an emerging and serious fire safety concern. Lithium-ion batteries charge so many and power so many of the devices we rely on every day, from phones and laptops to e-bikes, scooters, and our power tools. When used properly, these batteries are safe, but when they are damaged, overcharged, or improperly stored, they can overheat, catch fire, and even explode. Nationwide, we are seeing more fires caused by lithium-ion batteries, and San Bruno is not immune to this risk. That's why this year's campaign focuses on helping every household understand how to use and store these batteries safely. Some simple life-saving reminders for us. Use only the charger and battery that came with your device or that are listed by the manufacturer. Do not charge batteries under pillows, beds, or couches. They need space to ventilate. Stop using a battery if it shows signs of damage, such as swelling, leaking, or producing an unusual odor. Always store and charge your e-bikes, scooters outdoors whenever possible, and definitely away from our sleeping areas. And dispose of lithium-ion batteries do not dispose of them in the trash. Recycle them properly at designated facilities. Our fire prevention team is here to provide resources and education to keep you and your family safe. Fire safety is not just about responding to emergencies, it's about preventing them before they start. With that, we'd like to invite everyone to come to our open house for Fire Prevention Week on October 11th from 10 to 2 at Fire Station 51. Have lots of activities and education and ice cream. Again, October 11th from 10 to 2. And I'll wrap it up by saying once again, thank you for taking an active role in your family's fire safety and protecting our San Bruno community, because if it's predictable, it's preventable. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And Jessica is newer to the team. She is our fire marshal. So welcome and thank you for the work that you're doing and the team. Next, we have a proclamation recognizing October 2025 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'll just read a couple of the whereases. Whereas October 2025 is designated as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month to honor the lives lost, support those currently fighting, and recommit ourselves to the goal of a world free from breast cancer. Whereas breast cancer is the second most common kind of cancer in women. Approximately 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer during their lifetime, whereas about 2,800 new cases of male breast cancer are expected to be diagnosed in 2025. And so survival rates for men are similarly to survival rates for women. And now, therefore, I, Rico E. Medina, Mayor of the City of San Bruno, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2025 as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the City of San Bruno, and encourage all residents to join in activities that raise awareness of breast cancer and support those affected by the disease. Next, we're having a proclamation in regards to recognizing October 2025 as Community Planning Month. I'll just read a couple of those since the director will be stepping forward. Whereas change is constant and affects all cities, towns, suburbs, counties, and other places. And whereas the celebration of National Community Planning Month gives us the opportunity to publicly recognize the participation and dedication of members of planning commissions and other citizen planners who have contributed their time and expertise to the improvement of the City of San Bruno. And now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Rico E. Medina, Mayor of the City of San Bruno, do hereby proclaim October 2025 as Community Planning Month in the City of San Bruno in conjunction with the celebration of the National Community Planning Month. Director.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, thank you very much for this proclamation. Most of our team of staff and contract planners are actually here tonight, if you could stand. We very much appreciate the recognition of the need to invest in planning today for greater success tomorrow, as you encapsulated in the State of the City address itself. So you took away all the things I needed to say, so I can just end there. Yeah.
Thank you again to the director and to the team in the department. Next item is the proclamation recognizing October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas more than 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men and 1 in 2 transgender individuals experience some form of physical or sexual violence and or stalking by their intimate partner in their lifetime. And whereas community overcoming relationship abuse, CORA is one that helps, staff provided more than 10,000 critical services in the past year, ensuring survivors have access to safety, advocacy, and healing. Now, therefore, be resolved, I, Rico E. Medina, Mayor of the City of San Bruno, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month to raise awareness about and encourage all residents of the City of San Bruno to do their part to help rid our community of intimate partner violence. And our final proclamation this evening is item H, recognizing October 2025 as National Filipino American Heritage Month. Whereas 4 million Filipino Americans reside in the United States, comprising approximately 1.5 of the country's population, and nearly 1 in 7 immigrants from Asia is from the Philippines. And whereas immigrants from the Philippines and their families truly have enriched our nation, state, and city through their work and contributions in agriculture, their service in the armed forces, their offerings, skills, and expertise as engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs, accountants, teachers, lawyers, nurses, and doctors, and their participation in public office, civilian affairs, and community activities. Now, therefore, I, Rico Medina, Mayor of the City of San Bruno, do hereby proclaim October 2025 as National Filipino American History Month and encourage all to recognize the riches of the Filipino American experience and honor the contributions of the Filipino Americans. And I want to thank you for indulging for those, but it is important that we bring focus and attention. And with that, we have last but certainly not least, and I'm excited to hear, we will receive the presentation from the San Bruno delegation on their trip to our sister city, Narita, Japan. And we will begin with Brian Adam.
All right. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council members. Long time no see. It is me, Brian Adam, Assistant to the City Manager. I'm very happy to be here providing a presentation on the Narita Sister City program for this year. And I'm very happy to be joined by colleagues from the San Bruno Parkside Intermediate School, including Selena Dalmasio, Lauren Rizzo, and Ava Lynn, who are staff members at the Parkside Intermediate School that joined us on the delegation and really did a lot of the heavy lifting in preparing the students and preparing the families as well for sending their students abroad to Japan. And I will now turn on the clicker. All right. So for the content of this presentation, I'll tell you a little bit about the history, which you know about, but for the benefit of everyone else, we'll talk about that, the benefits of the program, and then I'll hand it off to my colleague Selena to speak a little bit more about how we selected the students and a little bit more about what we actually did this past July when we visited Narita, when it was very hot and humid. So this program, how long have we been doing it? Well, basically, it's been going on for about 35 years now, started in 1990. We had a brief delay, unfortunately, due to COVID travel restrictions, but we resumed with the first delegation of students of the resumption of the program being last year, and this is the second one since resuming the program. Typically, the Narita delegation joins us in spring during school break, and then we go during the summer when it's school break for us. And we have the pictures from this year's delegation at the top when we were saying bye-bye to the students at San Bruno Parkside Intermediate School, and at the bottom right on actually our first full day in Japan when we met all the different families of the students we had received earlier in March. And so we had the opportunity to not only see them once again perform and introduce themselves to everyone, but for ourselves also to introduce ourselves to all the different staff members, families, and students, and for the students to kind of do the performance they prepared. And, where exactly is Narita? So just to remind everyone, Narita is a city in Japan. It has an airport. We also have an airport next to us. And the city of Narita is about maybe an hour east of Tokyo. And I have another picture here that I added just to give sense of the scope. So Tokyo is in the red box. And then some of those marks on the map, that's Narita. So you also see a dot that's south of the red box and really far south of the red box. Those are the different places that they took us during our tour, of which we have some pictures to share later. But, they took us to the middle of the water. What was over there? A little more on that later. But there's lots of different connections between our cities besides airports and being cities. We also have these markers, signs created by the city of San Bruno that exist both at Narita City Hall and at San Bruno City Hall. And there's lots of gifts that have been shared over the years that are kept at both these locations, commemorating not only the strength and the duration of this relationship, but its significance. And what are some of the benefits of the program? So basically, for the student delegates, this is a really rare opportunity to be ambassadors, right? As middle school students, now all high school students, they had the opportunity to go abroad and also when receiving the students from Japan to basically represent the United States and learn a little bit about Japan. Not only learning about culture, but also learning a little bit of conversational Japanese. And for the city of San Bruno and for the Park School District, this is a really unique program because there aren't a lot of middle schools that are receiving other middle schoolers or sending middle schoolers. This is typically something reserved for high schools or typically for college students. And I think in that sense, really early on, especially for the families, it's an opportunity to kind of expose or get involved or think more internationally and hopefully to develop experiences that last for a lifetime and encourage people to get involved, to contribute to this program because it is something that is so unique that San Bruno has. And with that, I'm going to get out of the way and hand it over to Selena Dalmasio.
Thank you, Brian, for that great introduction. It has been amazing working with you on this program. So my name is Selena Damasio, and I am a music director at Parkside Intermediate. I'd also like to introduce the rest of my amazing team, Miss Ava Lynn, who's the school psychologist of Parkside, and Mr. Lauren Rizzo, a math teacher at Parkside as well. Together, we had the honor of leading the 2025 San Bruno delegation of the Narita and San Bruno Foreign Exchange Program. We selected 10 eighth graders who are currently now ninth graders who demonstrated what it means to be a responsible, respectful, and resilient individual. They had to go through an application process with Brian filling out an application, getting 2 teacher recommendations, as well as having at least a 3.0 GPA, and go through an interview panel of answering a series of questions such as, here is a plate of unfamiliar food. How do you handle the situation? Go. And they handled it all beautifully. But they were chosen as out of 22 applicants. We picked the cream of the crop, and it was very difficult, and we chose 10 students. Now, throughout the next 8 months after they were chosen, these students had to attend weekly cultural lessons, bi-weekly Japanese lessons, learn how to give a speech in Japanese, and dance to songs such as TikTok songs to Rose and Bruno Mars's APT and NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye. They learn how to be hosts with their families and show the delegation of Narita the gems of San Bruno and other parts of the Bay Area. As visitors in Japan, we climbed a mountain, drove over Tokyo Bay via the Aqua Line, made long-lasting friendships, had memorable conversations, and of course, ate lots of tasty food. We would like to thank the City of San Bruno for partnering with us and making this foreign exchange program an opportunity for our students will never forget. We want to thank the San Bruno and San Mateo Community Foundation for the grants and financial support to make this program more accessible to our students, as well as thanking the San Bruno Parks School District for continuing and supporting this program for the past 35 years. We would also like to thank Sarah Jolly from the San Bruno Public Library for her support with hosting the Narita delegation for 2024 and 2025. Brian Adam for helping us in this process for 2025, as well as making sure he helped a lot with the translating in Japanese. There were times when we were trying to communicate with our friends, and he helped us a lot with that part of the process. So thank you, Brian. We'd also like to give a shout out to Mariko Miyake for her outstanding translating and Japanese classes for our students. And most of all, our host families here in San Bruno and Narita, Japan, for treating all of our students like their own children. We also like to thank the San Bruno and Narita International Friendship Society for taking care of us adults and showing us different parts of Narita, Japan that we'd have never have seen if they didn't take us along and treat us like pretty much what feels like royalty. But my next part I would like to introduce is 3 individual students. They're going to go in the order of Nola Liu, Sophia Zaneva, and Wesley Ong, who are going to tell you their own recap of their visit in Japan this past July.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nola Liu. Thank you for coming. I'd like to start by thanking all of those who helped contribute to making this experience possible. The experience to me is extremely memorable, and I feel greatly fortunate to have been able to participate. I'd like to share some key moments and memories from my trip. I love being able to build relationships with the girls and their families. At first, it felt nerve-wracking, but that soon turned into excitement. Some of the most memorable moments of the trip were the family dinners I had with my host family, and they introduced me to many delicious foods. It felt very inviting, as if I was a member of their own family. And also, when I was in Japan, I learned about many traditions, such as praying at a temple, cleansing the body using smoke from incense, and a summer tradition involving breaking watermelons with bamboo sticks. Lastly, this experience really helped me, and I'm sure many others, to step out of their comfort zone. I felt that traveling abroad was not that intimidating, though the idea of being away from home without my family for such a long time made me feel nervous. But the host family and the others around me made me feel more comfortable, and I was able to have lots of fun on the trip. I do hope there are many other students that can participate in the program in upcoming years. It's unforgettable and a whole new experience. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sophia, and I want to thank the City of San Bruno for creating and maintaining the exchange program with our sister city, Narita. I'm so grateful I had this amazing opportunity to go and participate in this program. From the moment we landed in the Narita airport, I knew we were in safe hands because of how kind, respectful, and welcoming everybody was towards us. We got to see and experience modern and traditional parts of Japan's culture, like animal cafes where I sat with and played with piglets, and more traditional activities like attending and even being a part of the Gion Festival. We pulled decorated floats carrying people playing music, which allowed us to connect with the Japanese culture and be part of their community. One of the most exciting aspects of this experience was bonding with the Narita students and their families. We had a chance to cook some traditional dishes together and learn some techniques to make them unique. We overcame the language barrier in a creative and an often fun way. Connecting with Japan's tradition, music, arts and crafts, education, and customs was an enriching and memorable experience. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Wesley Ong, and I had the honor of being one of the 10 delegates selected for the 2025 San Bruno Narita Sister City Exchange Program. First of all, I would like to thank the City of San Bruno, the San Bruno Park School District, and the San Bruno Community Foundation for making this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity possible. I also want to thank our amazing chaperones, Ms. Dalmacio, Mr. Rizzo, Ms. Lynn, and Mr. Adam, for preparing us for the adventure and taking great care of us. I'd also like to give a special thanks to Ms. Miyake for teaching us about Japanese culture and their language. Going to Narita was my first international trip. The host families welcomed me with lots of kindness and gave me the opportunity to experience Japan from their perspective. I had a chance to make hand-rolled sushi, carve my own chopsticks, visit an onsen, and even interact with their pet owl. Everywhere we visited, I noticed the respect, safety, and thoughtfulness within Japanese culture. One highlight was visiting Toyama Junior High School. We practiced calligraphy, joined classes, and experienced their school as students in Japan. We also got to take part in the Gion Festival, along with going to see the Tokyo Skytree and a cat cafe. Another special part of this program was when the Japanese students visited my home here in San Bruno. We had so much fun sightseeing, eating, laughing, and hanging out together. They even said they want to come back and visit us again soon. This program gave me more than just memories. It opened doors to lifelong friendships, a new perspective, and even more pride in being part of San Bruno, a community that believes in building friendship across the world. Thank you again for making this incredible experience possible, and I hope the San Bruno Narita Sister City Exchange Program will continue on for generations to come.
All right. Thanks so much to all the students that spoke, and thank you, Selena. I guess the last thing that I wanted to ask is, I will show the slides. I guess I guess um sorry, let me start again. Providing my own personal experience, I think, as the speakers noted, it was really interesting to be in Narita and to have a guide there, because I think when you're traveling to Japan, Narita is often maybe seen as like it's just the place where the airport is. So it was really great to have people that live there and work there show us what makes Narita great in the same way that we want to show them what makes San Bruno great. That it's not just a touchstone from here to the Bay Area and that kind of stuff, but that San Bruno also has these great things that we can show them to come and to appreciate, right? That it's not just a waystone between these different places. And with that in mind, I did want to welcome or ask that Mayor Rico E. Medina come down and accept a gift from Mayor Kazunari Koizumi from Narita, and to also take a picture with students and the adult delegates, if that's possible. So,
Is that how the mayor wanted you to do it?
well,
Thank you, Brian.
I just needed one photo.
Oh, okay.
So
I
we
just
need-
follow
we
instructions.
need a photo like this. Good. And then you can take it and we can shake hands.
Okay. Thank you, Brian.
Of course. And then
I should thank the mayor, but thank you for bringing it
that's
here.
right. We just need him to know that it made it into your hands.
That's true. Now it's my responsibility.
You hold me accountable.
So thank you for being here. And I know we spoke just momentarily before the meeting. And if, again, to the teachers, I told them they could come in late tomorrow. So since they're here tonight, but I had told them the story of when I went, because after COVID, it kind of had stopped for obvious reasons. We couldn't fly. We did do the next best thing. The mayor and I did a Zoom call during COVID just to keep that alive and that relationship. Because it's, as you well know, once you stop something, it's hard to restart. And so when I went over and we had not had an elected in some time, it was to meet with the mayor and discuss the program going forward. And it was amazing. And I've told the young people is that I met a gentleman who was here as an 8th grader at the senior center when the document was signed 35 years ago between then the mayor of Narita and our Mayor Marshall. And now he was on the Narita City Council. And so you just never know. There was a lady that the vice mayor stopped me. We were doing a tour of the hospital and she was here. And so she wanted to say hello to me again. And she still had the coin and another gift with her that she had received here. So as I said, there are folks that I know they're in their 30s and 40s that have participated in some way at some facet, and they still remember it. And it's an experience that is just amazing. And when I go and see all of a sudden when at Parkside they're saying goodbye, and the young people, some are getting emotional, saddened to say goodbye. And then the parents of those folks, because their kids are getting emotional, are getting emotional. And the protection that they have and the way you folks welcome them and treat them is amazing. And I can tell you that this is something way after when I'm not on this council, this is a program that should remain. And when I sat with the mayor, one of the best things he said was, you know what, let's restart this. We agreed. And the vice mayor, very different than our vice mayor, because he was so, more or less, are we going to do this or not? He was just straight to the point, kind of took me back a little bit because the mayor is a very gracious man. Not that the vice mayor's not, but it was that he said, you know what, let's not worry about the electeds coming again the next time or so. Let's make sure the students, and that's what the program was about. was to begin this journey and this awareness and understanding. So it is a lot to ask for you folks and to go into a new experience and new foods, styles, and culture. And you did well. You represented your school, you represented the city, and we are proud, and you should be proud of yourselves. So on behalf of the city of San Bruno, the city council, we want to thank you and we appreciate, and your job is to now tell the others it's worth you doing this because it's an experience of a lifetime that you will carry forever. So again, thank you for the presentation, Brian. I appreciate it. You can tell the mayor the gift has now been delivered. You have completed your assignment. And to the students, my best wishes to all of you. And once again, thank you. City Clerk, do we have any speaker cards for any items under presentations and
Speaker cards.
do we have anything else? Okay. Once again, please feel free. And again, thank you. We're going to move on to item 6, consent calendar. All items are considered routine or implemented in an earlier council action and may be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless requested. There will be a single public comment period for all items in this section unless a council member requests to pull this item for a separate vote. Are there any items in consent for a separate vote? Seeing here.
Through the chair?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I will pull item H for a separate vote.
Item H, separate vote. Are there any other items? May I ask, is there any folks that have a comment or question?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, some comments and questions for items D, E, F, and G. They'll be short.
And the staff know they're coming?
Comments? No.
The questions?
No.
Okay. But there are questions or just more comments? Okay. So, all right. So why don't we go ahead and just take those first by the Vice Mayor. Consider adoption of a resolution. It's quite detailed, but this has to do with the Shelter Creek sewer main replacement and Portola watershed storm drain trunk line repair project. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If you don't mind me just lumping these together because they're really short comments.
Sure. Let me go. It'll be E and F, and also E is considered adoption of a resolution accepting a well project, and then item F is adoption of a resolution authorizing receipt and expenditure of $75,000 in California Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I like to comment on these items on consent because I think otherwise the public wouldn't know. The council tonight's going to approve, hopefully, $2.8 million for a sewer and storm drain projects. The council will be hearing of the completion of a $1.8 million new well. That project has been going on since 2010. My question for that would be, when does the next phase begin? Because the well has been completed. Now we got to put together the housing for the well. And then also congratulating our police department for getting a $75,000 grant to implement operations and programs to target underage drinking. And so I just wanted to commend that work. And Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Director Lee.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council, Matt Lee, Public Works Director. Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, basically the next phase. So phase 1 is complete on the well. The production well has been completed. And so when would the next phase begin to put the well into operation?
We're currently working on phase 2 right now. And phase 1 was essentially the effort to drill all the way down to the well. The next part is to complete the infrastructure so we can start extracting water. And so we're working with SFPUC through kind of a coordinated effort to fund and design and construct the project for phase 2.
Is it projected in the next 3 years? Did
Uh,
like, just curious, because when I saw, I forgot that that project has started in 2010, I believe. And I just wanted to see, like, we're in 2025 and just a roundabout number. I'm not going to hold you to anything. Just curious to.
Given the complexities with negotiating with SFPUC, I will say, depending how our conversations go, it will come soon.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, and if he had that question, he might have had more.
Yeah,
to
I'm
say,
sorry.
so-
I was a little overwhelmed this weekend.
And I apologize. I had circled. Did you also want G?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to G.
Right.
I didn't read that one. Consider adoption of a resolution authorizing city manager to execute MOU with San Bruno Improvement Group to implement programs and events downtown.
Fantastic. First of all, I think this is a great item. I wanted to thank staff and the improvement group, San Bruno Improvement Group, Josh and Sedana sitting out over there, for their efforts to activate Centennial Plaza with these monthly first Thursday events. I fully support efforts to bring our community together in a positive way. I just have a few questions on a little bit of a concern. The first one is, give me a second, my computer's kind of playing with me a little bit weird. All right. So I definitely appreciate Comcast's $15,000 contribution and the San Bruno Improvement Group's $5,000 contribution, which with the total of $20,000 for the 12 events, as I understand the item. I'm just a little concerned that this amount is on the low end, because $1,500 goes pretty quick for each event. And my question is, could staff clarify also the cost of the anticipated time and costs associated with this MOU to ensure that the funding is sufficient? Because to hold an event, just the printing and hiring the talent and getting decorations, that gets pretty close. And I've seen the work that they've done in the past, where they're, the Halloween and Easter, and it's a lot of effort, and just like $20,000 for 12 events isn't that much.
Sure. Mr. Mayor, members of council, Travis Carlin, Community Services Director. So as you know, Centennial Plaza has a pretty small footprint. And we're trying to keep this contained as much as possible to Centennial Plaza. So the bands that we're bringing in are more acoustic type, little smaller bands, not like the ones that we have in music in the parks. So we're trying to keep that quite small. We are also featuring a featured business each month that will come in, and they will take care of that part. And then we will be having a featured artist as part of the event as well. As we continue to do these events, we'll continue to assess it. And if there's some additional needs for resources, we'll look at additional grant funding, or if it comes to it coming back to the council to see if we can add some more additional funds to a project like this. We also have some special events funds, and we generally don't use all of those event funds. So there is an opportunity as well to shift some of those resources to this program if it does grow over time.
Okay, I got two more questions, Mr. Mayor. So the next one is, will staff be accepting additional requests from other community organizations to partner and establish MOUs? I ask because I believe more community organizations would love the ability to partner with the city. I'm a member of the Lions, I'm a member of Rotary, and it would be wonderful to explore how similar type of collaborations could be conducted in the future, because this is something brand new, and I wanted to thank you for it and just see what your thoughts on more types of collaborations.
Sure. So my philosophy when actually partnering with an organization is that it is a community benefit, and that both organizations are bringing something to the table, right? It's not just a fee waiver that they're asking for, but it's really a general partner, or it's a real partnership that comes together. In my last community that I worked in, we did a lot of these MOUs with organizations that could put on a community event that really makes an impact to the community without using a lot of city resources. businesses and partnering on those different things. So yes, I think an MOU is appropriate for this type of venture. I have most recently met with Ray from the Lions, who's the current president, and we talked about this avenue for the Lions for all the different things that we do throughout the year and establishing that as well. So definitely open to talking about that and establishing those partnerships and bringing them forward to the council for consideration.
Fantastic. Thank you. The last question. So in the staff report, it mentions that the Culture and Arts Commission will be involved with the selection of artists and maybe musicians. How will the monthly events kind of be selected? Like it's every month it's going to go with the holiday for that month, and then just curious, will there be an opportunity for the community to provide some input in determining whatever the activity would be?
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely open to some input, and we'll make sure that we're surveying the participants to find out what they'd like to see as part of the event. The general idea for the event initially will be that we're going to be doing a featured artist, where the artist has the opportunity to either display their works. If they want to promote their business, they'll provide a business license to do so, and we'll work with them on that. That's where the Culture and Arts Commission will come in, because they will actually do a call to artists and select the actual artists that are positioned for each of the months. We'll also be working with Sedena and the San Bruno Improvement Group to develop a fair process for selecting businesses to participate in the project. And then we are also going to be utilizing our Culture and Arts Commission for the selection of the bands that we're going to be having out on the stage there as well.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome.
If you could remain. A couple things I want to say, since there were a lot of questions again, and if you didn't get them ahead of time, because we could have had a little more, and I'm hoping that this, if you don't have an answer, you don't have an answer. But on the MOU, this is, shall we say, the first connection. Like you said, both sides bringing something to the table, proven, having activities that they have done for a year or two. Was it a collaborative effort when it came to the budgetary needs as presented tonight?
Yes, absolutely. We worked with Sedena and the San Bruno Improvement Group. They actually got a grant, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sedena, but they got a grant from the San Bruno Community Foundation to activate Centennial Plaza and do things downtown. And we felt that by combining forces that we could do something a little bit more impactful for the community down there, and partnering on this once a month event.
And this is just me speaking, but I mean, when we talk about MOUs, and now this is not an initiative, and now we're talking about this group, that means staff resources that was not thought of. I think what you do is you start with one and you see how it works. You live, you learn, and you improve. But to all of a sudden go out to 4 or 5 different, I mean, we're going to have in this room at the end of the month, Rotary is doing a Taste of San Bruno. They're doing it. So they're already on board, opening it to the community, getting the businesses together, and having that collaboration. So, and when it comes to the Posey Parade, Lions does that too. And I know, Travis, that's what you're saying with Ray, because we've spoken about Day of the Child, Posey Parade. What can you do to make it a better event for all and really bring parties together? So I just want to be mindful of this is for a MOU to me, because if we're going to start opening up MOUs and then staff's going to start sitting down and we're having that, that's not what I'm voting on tonight. Anything else from colleagues? Okay. With that, then let's, again, we are pulling H for a separate vote. So with that, for under consent, and there's no public comments, items A through G, any action?
Move to approve.
That was a tie.
Second.
Okay. Vice Mayor's got the second. Can you figure out who came in first? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Recorded as unanimous 5-0 vote. Now we're going to go to item H. Consider adoption of an ordinance entitled an ordinance of the City Council of the City of San Bruno, amending section 2.04.140 of the San Bruno Municipal Code to increase city council member salaries. Councilmember Salazar.
Thank you. So, I think I know where everybody lies on this topic, but I did want to, I wanted this to be a separate vote because I do intend to vote against it for a number of reasons. And in looking at the details that are included in the staff report, one thing I took issue with is the fact that, we compared ourselves to every city in the county, including cities that have a population that allow them to have a higher salary because of that number. So I think that unfairly drove the number up that we are using as a basis for setting the salary. And just considering our policies that we are currently working on or working with on setting salaries for the rest of staff, I feel that it would be appropriate for us to do the same to ourselves as we do to everyone else. And I think that the decision here to essentially double what we currently earn at the beginning of the next election, which is over a year away. So there's definitely not an urgency issue to get this done, but to essentially double what we would earn when in fact we were, working with setting other salaries based on, more fair assessments of what is equitable across other communities, what is equitable across the departments within the city, and also looking at gradual increases across several years, which has been our policy for a long time, rather than doing big true ups all at once. I think this completely goes against all of that. And for those reasons, I will be voting against this item tonight. Thank you.
No, thank you. And thank you for pulling it because I should have thought that. Any comments or questions? Just so that it's clear, back in a little history, back in 2001 was the last time the city council had received an increase, which was brought forward by council member then Chris Pallas, who I don't know prior to that, but that was the last time. My understanding, and staff or Councilmember Alvarez can correct me, based on formula population, it could have been $1,250 a month. We're currently at $461 a month. And this would bring us, I think it was 890. What is it, Tom? I'm sorry. It brings it to 890 a month. So that's, I just want the numbers made because when it sounds double that, but so again, it goes to 890 a month. And that would begin in December of 2026. So just for clarity. There are no speaker cards. Any other comments? With that, any action?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
A motion and second to approve consent item H. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
It is a 4-1. Councilmember Salazar dissents. With that, thank you all. We're going to move on to item 7, and I'm glad I'm not reading this. It's our city clerk.
Item 7A, hold public hearing to consider adoption of a resolution making draft findings and declaring an intent to propose overriding the San Mateo City County Association of Governments Airport Land Use Commission's determination of inconsistency pursuant to Public Utilities Code Section 21676 with respect to the proposed Tanfram Plan development of 1122, 1150, 1178, and 1188 El Camino Real and 1292 Huntington Avenue, and provide notice pursuant to the State Public Utilities Code to the Airport Land Use Commission and the State of California Department of Transportation's Division of Aeronautics regarding such findings, and intend to propose an override, and authorize the city manager to submit the resolution to the Airport Land Use Commission and the State of California Department of Transportation's Division of Aeronautics, and schedule a public hearing to consider adoption pursuant to Public Utilities Code Section 21676.
Thank you a lot for reading all that. Before we continue, I'm going to turn the meeting over to the Vice Mayor, since due to my location of my home to the project in question, I am going to recuse myself, and I will return upon this item being completed.
All righty then. Director Gilly.
Yes, Mr. Vice Mayor and members of the council, I'd like to introduce Lisa Casa Sanders, the contract planner with Good City, who has been managing our Tanfran project.
Good evening. Thank you, council members. The item before you this evening is consideration of a resolution of intent to override the Airport Land Use Commission's determination of inconsistency for the Tanfran development. So the location of the proposed Tanfran project is located under the Airport Land Use Commission authority review for the San Francisco Airport. And tonight is the first of 2 hearings required under the airport override process. This is relating to announcing the city's intent to override. If this resolution is adopted tonight, the city will provide the required notification to the Airport Land Use Commission and the State Department of Aeronautics. And then a second city council public hearing will be scheduled to act on the override. The Tanfran redevelopment project encompasses 44 acres and is proposed as a transit-oriented mixed-use development, including housing, retail, life science, laboratory, and office uses. The area is subject to the comprehensive airport land use compatibility plan for the environs of the San Francisco International Airport. The ALUC reviewed the project for compatibility at its June 26th meeting. As part of the city's housing element process, this area was previously rezoned to allow up to 1,014 housing units. That rezoning effort did include an override of the ALUC finding that housing is inconsistent with the ALUC at this location. The current proposal would allow up to 500 additional housing units. And at a previous study session of this project held by the City Council in March, the council expressed support for the increase in the housing units on the site. I'll walk through each of the ALUC determinations. So first, starting with airspace, this is really controlling the heights of the development. So the proposed development has been deemed consistent with the ALUC relating to the height limit. The applicant will be required to obtain FAA clearance in the future to confirm the final building height and as well to confirm that there's no design hazards associated with the buildings. Next, relating to safety, the majority of the site is located under compatibility zone 4, and it's been found that the proposed land uses for Tanfran are consistent with this safety zone for uses. Permitting biosafety level 2, which is one of the life science biosafety level containments, would require additional building exits for safe egress. As well, the council would need to find that there's no further feasible alternatives to that use on the site. And then finally, for noise, the ALUC deems residential to be an incompatible use relating to exposure to the 70 decibel noise contour for the airplane flight path. It should be noted that the proposed development will achieve an interior noise level of less than 45 decibels with sound insulation construction methods. And that sound level for the interior does comply with the ALUCP. There's also many residences currently in this area. The council is required to override the ALUC's determination prior to considering the project relating to the noise. So as I mentioned earlier, we have kind of a 3-step process here. So first, the override consideration tonight is to adopt the resolution of intent. The second step would be the city would provide the notification, allowing a 30-day comment period. And then the third step is the hearing where the council actually adopts the override, making the findings outlined in the resolution. And that would be scheduled at the same agenda as the Tanfran entitlements are scheduled. So the resolution as attached to the staff report has been reviewed by the city attorney and includes the findings relating to public health, safety, and welfare. Staff recommends the city council adopt a resolution as read by the city clerk. And that concludes my presentation. We're available to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you for the report. Do we have any questions? No questions?
I have comments.
We're ready for public comment.
Okay, much better. Okay, in order to have housing there, because of the decibel, so on and so forth, you're making some accommodation for insulating so that the interior meets the requirements. And my question is, how is the interior air quality measured? You can't be opening windows. I'm just wondering, how is it handled for the health to have air exchange, proper air exchange? I imagine there must be some building science behind this, but I don't want to overlook that just because I know how important indoor air quality, you can have a higher, air pollution and adverse health effects than outside sometimes. Has this been?
Do you have more? You have two more minutes. You can ask more questions.
I'm done. I just
That's
want to
one
know.
question?
Oh, can they answer it?
Well, yeah. I'm waiting
Oh,
till
yeah,
you're
yeah.
finished.
No, that's it. It's like, I get it. Let's have people be able to live there with, having their eardrums blown out. But what about the air exchange?
Okay.
Thank you. As part of the environmental analysis for this project, we also evaluated air quality relating to properties around the site and the on-site residences. And as a mitigation measure, they will be required to have higher level of air handling within the building air conditioning systems. And so the applicant has agreed to that mitigation. So it'll be a higher level HEPA filters inside the building construction.
Also want to add one point. The contour for the 70 decibels, there are existing houses in that area. It is not a situation where some residents in there think it's so loud that you can't function. It's simply the ALUC has a plan that when that plan was adopted, that was the threshold. And so it's the mitigation measure is still going to be in there for the air handling, but the noise levels may not be as impactful as one might think. Just as an FYI, if you look at our safety element, many neighborhoods in the city are within the 70 decibel contour of our freeways. That there is noise in a more urban environment.
Fantastic. Any other public comment? Nothing written?
I have no speaker cards.
Last call. So we need to close the public hearing. Public comment. Sorry.
I'll move to close public. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Anyone else object? Nope. Unanimous 4-0. All right.
Let's have a brief comment through the Vice Mayor. So I serve on the ALUC, and I voted with the majority that this project is incompatible with the airport land use plan, because it is. And we've already voted to override once before when we did the housing element. This is a very common procedure. Those who are familiar with all the development in Millbrae, near Millbrae Avenue, they had to vote to override all of that because it's right at the end of one of the runways. And then further down the exact same flight plan, in South San Francisco, where the new Safeway is going in, there's going to be biotech in there, and some housing in there, and they voted to override. South City voted to override there. So this is a common occurrence. We had lively debates every time it's come before us on the ALUC, and I am absolutely voting. Even though I voted to that it's incompatible, I'm also going to vote that we're going to override it.
Any other comments, discussion, colleagues? Seeing none.
Through the Vice Mayor, I'd like to move to approve the resolutions as read by the city clerk.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passes 4-0. Thank you. Let's call for the mayor. Thank you, everybody.
that was in the hall.
Thank you. We'll go back on the agenda, 7 being complete. We'll move on to item 8, council committee report outs. Mr. Hamilton.
I have one short one. This past Thursday, the Bay Area Water Supply and Conservation Agency Board of Directors had our regular meeting. Our system storage is we're in good shape, and our system deliveries, which means how much water we're all using across the region, are right at the 5-year average. So we're not doing any more or less than has been typical. We received a report on the SFPUC's wildfire management efforts, which includes the installation of system monitoring of all overhead electrical lines on all the high-risk areas that the SFPUC manages. So that's really important given the wildfire danger that we've seen across the state. So they've got cameras and other monitoring on all of the wires that go through all the land that the SFPUC manages from here to Yosemite. The board approved a $160,000 contract to host a series of water use efficiency workshops in partnership with Valley Water. And then in closed session, we conducted our CEO Smeagol's annual performance review. Thank you.
Very quick for myself, I'll try to keep it short, like Councilmember Hamilton. Emergency Services Council had their meeting. A lot of the time was spent on the alerts that obviously are being questioned as far as from the various disasters and evacuations. Also, the hazmat contract, as you know, we deal with the JPP as far as the county is concerned, and that hazmat contract is up. It needs new apparatus. And so that will probably be an increase, but again, we are negotiating that. And then we had another meeting of the transportation grade separation ad hoc to bring back to the full body as far as looking forward for the grade separations, what we can do, can't do, and of course the monies that they cost. As an example, Broadway and Burlingame, was that 300 and something million became 600 million, and just the reality of trying to have those taken care of. Had commute.org was asked by the chair to step in as chair of the strategic initiative ad hoc committee for now, since there was an unforeseen vacancy. And that's it for me. Let's go on to comments from council members. Mr. Hamilton, thank you.
So this coming Saturday, September 27th, is our monthly pancake breakfast at the American Legion. Made to order omelets, bacon, sausage, eggs, hash browns, pancakes, waffles, and all kinds of things. The list goes on. Raffles and prizes, lots of door prizes, and bacon cooked by your favorite council member. So please join us. It's great for the whole family. $15 for adults, $6 for kids, and all proceeds benefit the American Legion Post 409 in service to our veterans. We'll see you there.
Ms. Medina.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Tomorrow at Bel Air Elementary School, 453rd Avenue, we will be having a second harvest grocery distribution. Last month, we had 330 families that obtained groceries, and we ran out. The good news is second harvest increased the number to 350. So if you are someone that is in need of some groceries, you're welcome to come to Bel Air School. Please line your vehicle or park your vehicle in the line, and then we'll let people in at 1:45 to the back of the school. So we also need volunteers. If you can arrive at 1:45, you can join a motley crew of hardworking people that love to serve our community. So hope to see you then.
I'm not that motley.
Okay, I want to acknowledge and thank Kevin McMullen for his 25 years of service with the San Bruno Police Department. He, again, is still going to another chapter in his life. He is not going to just sit at home, but 25 years with this city is quite a commitment and a dedication. And so I personally want to thank him and appreciate what he has done for the community, and also thank his family, because it also has a burden on them with their hours and when they leave the door until they come home through that door. So my best wishes and appreciation to Kevin McMullen. With that, before we adjourn, I'd like to adjourn in memory of two persons. First one is George Lynch. He just had his service today. Was a proud graduate from Sacred Heart. Beyond what people know, George coached water polo at Mercy for 15 years, was awarded the CCS Coach of the Year in 27. George also served 25 years as a commissioner of the Millbrae Park and Recreation and was the co-owner of a family moving business, Lynch's and Son. And he and his wife were married 53 years. So our thoughts and prayers are to the Lynch family. Also, we had from South San Francisco, Pedro Gonzalez. He was appointed to the city council on May 24th, 2000 for the South San Francisco City Council. He was then elected 3 times, November 6th of 01, November 8th of 05, and November 3rd of 09. And he was not just elected, he was often the top vote getter, a testament to the trust and respect he earned. He served as mayor 3 times, and I have the dates, but anyway, he served within his rotational 3 times. I was proud to work with Pedro and his wife, beautiful people, had a good long life and gave a great service to the city of South San Francisco, and they will be lowering flags by order of the mayor to honor and recognize his public service. So to that family, I wish all of them the best. Thank him and his family for their sacrifice to the city of South San Francisco and for the regional boards that he served on and tried to ensure good representation for South City and a better San Mateo County. With that, thank everybody and thank you, staff, for being here. And to those that are still in the audience, thank you as well. And with that, we will adjourn this meeting to the next regular city council meeting, which will be held on October 14th. And again, in honor and memory of Mr. Lynch and Gonzalez, I adjourn this meeting to October 14, 2025 at 7 p.m.